this group of people who have a license who believe they actually know how to drive. You don't. The license says you do, technically, but I've been in a car with you. You can't. I don't know how this is allowed.
There should be some kind of driving aptitude test. I think there should be like road rage offenses.
I believe so.
People are being crazy on the roads.
It's scary. There's people who I don't trust on the sidewalk walking. So how do I believe that you're going to be in this machine that can murder yourself and others, and feel safe about that? I can't.
When we think about what a car literally is, it's a thousands of pounds metal machine, and a random ass 16-year-old can just drive it. That feels crazy to me when you really break it down and think about it.
Humans are so flawed. Even if the best of the best is behind the wheel, there's too many things in the way. You got a friend that's talking too much, that's going through a breakup. You got the radio. You want to be on the aux. Then you have people walking who jaywalk, who don't care about the signaling and whatnot. It's so much that I'm like, I don't want to be involved. If I could just take the train, if the train was cleaner and it just people not pulling out their dicks and the people with they dog. Yeah, actually, I don't want to take the train.
Yeah, you're like, I'm actually walking that back.
Yeah.
Speaking of the train, we both were on a train from DC this morning. Why were you there last night? You had a show, right?
I was on a show called No Wrong Answers. And so basically this host his name is Chris Duffy. He's amazing. He brings in an expert and then he has a panel of comedians who are dumb. We're not dumb, but we're kind of dumb. We have no idea who is actually coming in, and they give us all this information about a topic, or they're an expert in something, and then we ask our dumbass questions, and they find a way to answer it and make us feel like, oh, that wasn't that dumb. We didn't know. We had no idea. So yesterday we learned a lot about soil and the difference between soil and dirt. And we better have more respect for soil than dirt, because dirt is dead soil. And I had no idea. I said, it's all the same. It's all the same for me. I don't want it. I don't want it in my bed, and I don't need it outside of my home. That's how I feel.
Dirt is dead soil.
Yes. Soil is a lot of organisms in it. It's a community. It's adding to our environment.
How does soil die?
He said something about that. He said that there was so much information being thrown at me. I was like, I should have took some notes. But I do know that depending on the environment, the weather, the person who's farming, it's not easy to just get things to grow from out of the ground.
Yeah, no, and it's not, because
with the crops and everything, it's just you think it's so easy what they're doing. It's absolutely not, and we should have more respect for the soil and the people who are providing us, all our vegetable, our food and whatnot. I think we actually have more respect for people in Trader Joe's than we actually have for the farmers that are actually making sure we can get this produce or whatever to Trader Joe's.
Say more about that.
I don't want to say too much because I'm really more of a Uber Eats girl, but
I know I'm like I haven't stepped foot in a grocery store, but I believe what you're saying.
Let me tell you, during the pandemic, I learned that I'm useless. I would not be in The Last of Us, the Walking Dead. I would be the first one out. I would be the person that's like, hey, I gotta die, because if it's up to me surviving, I don't want to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? People were like, hey, you ain't have no toilet paper. You don't have no food. You don't even have no bottled water. How are you going to survive? I was like, well, I have all this makeup. I have all these rhinestones from the Euphoria, show. I don't know how to take care of myself.
Does that mean nothing to you? I'll look really pretty.
And they don't want that. Nobody wants that on their team. The hottest bitch, when it's time, like the apocalypse, they're like, give me your ugliest and the person who has the most tools and the most viable person. Yo, I used to do bringers, and there was one, I used to bring some of my meanest friends to my bringer shows, and these are friends who are drinking, they drugging, they be in nightclubs, they don't come out before 8 p.m. And so they were coming, they're like, yo, don't ever invite me to no shit like this. If you need somebody to come, I'd rather just give you the money. I can't show up to this because this is so bad. But you are funny. I'll come to your show where it's just you, but don't you ever. And
my God.
I needed that.
And they're like, can I just Venmo you instead so I don't have to sit through this? And I know I've explained this before, but for people watching who aren't familiar, a bringer is when, in order to get stage time, you are required to bring audience members.
Your friends and family who've already supported you for 20 plus years. Now you're invited. Now they have to get not only support, but they need your money and your time. And essentially, they almost have to, like, whatever you think is funny, leave that at the door. Here right now, it's just giving talent show energy, and I just need you to be supportive. That's it.
Talent show.
It's talent show.
One of the many reasons people don't look at them fondly is like, okay, well, those are all people you know, so the laughter is going to be artificial, or who's to say that it's real or not, you know?
Okay, but sometimes you just need that to keep you going.
Oh, totally.
You know,
I did bringers.
You need that lift up to be like, all right, you know what? Maybe I can keep doing this. Because if your first time on stage, people are like, boo, get the fuck off the stage. They're on their phone. You're like, I will never do this again.
I hear you. I don't like shame. I understand why people do them. I did them as well. And I remember there was this one bringer. It was in New York. And the flyer, I kind of like manipulated it in a way so that it wasn't like super obvious that it was a bringer show. And I put it on my Instagram story. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I mean, this is like 7 years ago, but
it happens. Everything is kind of a scam. Okay. And in order for people to find out what they really want to do in life, you got to scam a little bit, because who really just wants to leave their bed? They do not. You got to find a way.
I love that. Sydnee Washington.
Hey, everyone.
Thanks for being here.
How you doing? Yeah.
Tell me more about scams. Have you run any scams recently?
Recently, yes, girl. I stay on my phone and, you know, I get these ads. The ads, I've gotten a lot better. Sometimes I see things and I'm like, I know this don't look like that. I just know. But this time, 2 a.m., I think this hat, it's like, it has like the Yankees, emblem on there.
Yeah.
And it's like furry. And, I love a cool, quirky, furry hat or whatever. And so I was like, ooh, it has the Yankees emblem.
Ooh, cute.
It looks like Yosemite Sam or something like that. Or, I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect for the wintertime. And so I order it, and it's in the beginning of November. And I'm like, okay, this TikTok shop or whatever, it might take 3 weeks.
Yeah.
At tops. Mm-hmm. The beginning of November.
Sure.
Tell me why I just got that bitch 2 days ago.
Stop.
And it don't look nothing like it did. It looks like one of those hats that you buy in Times Square at one of those vendors that, somebody from, East Bumblefuck is like, oh, this is a cool hat. But if I wore it, they're like, Sydnee, what are you going through? Whose auntie are you right now?
Oh, no. So you got scammed.
I did. And it was $30.
Oh, damn.
And I have been waiting to understand. Think about this. I was waiting for this hat for weeks and then months. And I was like, yo, when this hat come, I can't wait to put it on my head. I'm throwing it in the garbage. There's no way. I can't even pass this on to anybody, because that's how bad the hat is.
It can't even like go in the Goodwill bin.
No.
You're like, I'm not even trying to do that to you.
I don't even want to give it to somebody who's homeless. They deserve better.
They do deserve better.
I have better hats to give.
You know, I'm trying to think if I've had any scammy purchases recently. Most of them are entirely of my own doing.
It's me.
I did get... Sure. I will hit the pen, and then all of a sudden I notice things and like things that I've never been drawn to before. And I bought this coordinating tie-dye sweatsuit off of like an Instagram ad. I didn't even take it out of the package. I immediately put it in the Goodwill bin as soon as it arrived.
I want to see this
tie-dye
no, you don't.
Sweatsuit. It's not cute. I went through the craziest tie-dye phase in COVID where, you know how people were like making tie-dye?
Yes.
I was just buying it.
They were making tie-dye. They were making bread. They were doing everything except getting the
that?
help that they needed. So we really needed more help. More therapy should have been happening in the quarantine than ever. It should have been at an all-time high.
But it was sourdough.
Sourdough and tie-dye for you.
And honestly, sourdough is my least favorite bread.
That's the bread that we're making?
Why not focaccia?
Oh, my God! Oh, my God. I actually want to learn how to make focaccia, but I already know it's going to be fucked up, so I don't even want to waste nobody's time or bread. So yeah,
I feel like we're focaccia's soul sisters now.
Yes, a good sandwich with a focaccia. Focaccia's so good. First of all, you don't need no meats.
No.
You don't need no cheese. But if you needed to, it just, I could fill up on focaccia, and that's it.
Have you seen like the pretty focaccia designs that people will do? I love when people do that.
I said, man, now that's love. That's love. That's love in arts. And I support the arts, so that's why.
If you were bread, what kind of bread do you think you'd be? Would you be focaccia?
No, I'm going to hit you with the cinnamon raisin. I'm going to hit you with a cinnamon raisin swirl, because not only is it like sweet, but you can use it with a sandwich as well. I've had a cinnamon raisin bread with a honey turkey and just no mayonnaise.
What?
That's nasty. Mayonnaise is
I don't
nasty.
like mayonnaise either.
I like mayonnaise, but not with the cinnamon.
not
Right?
with
That's
not with the
gross.
cinnamon raisin.
No, you just need a little bit of butter. But also, I eat very poorly, so you don't want anything that I'm throwing out here. Just know you probably have the munchies, or you probably waste it. Those things pair well with anything that I'm offering you right now.
I do find that very interesting with the cinnamon raisin because the discourse is that white people often put raisins where raisins do not and should not belong.
This is
And
true.
I would
This is
think that a turkey sandwich would be one of those places.
That
And what
is
I'm
true.
hearing is no. There
Well,
are exceptions.
For me, some of my closest friends are white, so that's probably the white side of me. Like, yeah, I want some turkey and tomatoes and raisins and
That's
butter.
their
and,
influence.
yeah, throw a little, paprika on it. Yeah, no, I'm an oddball. So
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your lore. You grew up, you're born in Brooklyn. Is that right?
no, born at Mount Sinai in Harlem, New York City, right? But then when I was 2 years old, my mom was like, yeah, this was during the big crack epidemic in Harlem. So it was very scary. And so my mom was like, you know what? I don't know if this is a good place for a baby.
Yeah.
So she flew me out to, that was my first flued out. So the girls are getting flued out now, to Miami and Dubai. I got flued out to Oakland, California. So
Okay.
I lived with my great aunts and uncles, and I lived in Oakland, California from 2 to 13.
And how was that?
There's something about growing up with people who are in the know and people who are kind of young. They were very old. They were in their 70s.
Oh, wow.
And so the juxtaposition of my young ass and their, hey, we about to peace out.
Yeah.
It's like, we kind of want to die and I want to live. So
yeah.
it was a lot of trying to understand them, because when you get that age, you're like, I'm going to be an adult. I'm going to say what adults say, and they're going to get it. She
Yeah.
wasn't talking to me as kids. They were talking to me as, I might as well be 75 years old as well.
Sure. And how do you think that kind of changed how you were as a kid?
Oh, people used to say I was an old soul everywhere. Oh, you remind me of an old soul. Has anybody ever said Rosa Parks? No, I actually don't want to sit down. I actually want to stand up. I want to run. I want to play outside.
I want to run. I want to be on the playground.
Yeah.
I want to be on the monkey bars.
I don't want to fight for anybody's rights right now, okay? And my aunt would do my hair like Rosa Parks sometimes. So, yeah, I was very
Oh, my God.
odd. I didn't have a lot of friends. I couldn't mix in with the kids because I'm putting Splenda in cornflakes. Sweet and low in cornflakes. I'm eating grapefruit.
Those are the pink packets,
Yeah.
right?
Well, everybody's having frosted flakes. I'm like, yeah, give me those dry ass cornflakes and that 2% milk. That's how you know you're with old ass people. They're like, we want a little bit of milk and mainly water. It was a lot of sugar-free, and a lot of church. So yeah, I didn't know how to blend in with the kids until, I don't know, maybe middle school, even middle school, high school, I still didn't understand how to be cool.
Yeah.
I just knew how to be odd, or the conversations were strange because, well, everybody's being kids and asking normal questions. I'm saying, oh, you look sharp as a tack. You look casket ready. That's what I'm telling you. You look so good. You should be dead. Like that. You can't tell an 8-year-old that. You know what I mean?
I do think, though, there is not enough emphasis put on funeral planning.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much emphasis on wedding planning, wedding this, wedding that. You can have a million weddings, right?
Uh-huh.
And some people are really pushing the limits. You only get one
You
funeral.
only get one funeral.
Why aren't we talking about our funerals more?
That's not true. Aretha Franklin, I think she had her funerals on tour. I think she made a couple stops. It's true. So
Are you being serious?
yes. Oh no. I think maybe she had one funeral, but maybe it was for a couple of days. Maybe it was 24 hours. It was a long funeral. She switched clothes. They switched her outfits out. So
This is what I've always said.
ooh, talk about it.
I want there's going to be a guest list at my funeral.
Always.
You won't know there's a guest list till you get there.
Till you get there.
Because
The richest room.
there's going to be some people trying to sneak in and pretend that we were cool and we weren't and whatever. And then there's going to be a bouncer. And if you're declined, there's going to be I think a little old lady with a megaphone.
Damn.
telling you why you are not actually on the list.
So now this feels like One Oak. This feels real
And
fucked up.
that's before you even step in the door.
Yeah,
I do want my funeral to feel like One Oak. I do want my funeral to feel.
The doorman just looking over you like, yeah, no. You're like, but I'm on such and such list. It's like a promoter comes out with a leather vest. It's like, nah, I ain't never seen you before, babe.
And that's exactly what I want the vibe to be.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I mean, I grew up going to funerals all the time. You know, a lot of my family, their friends were always dying. So yeah, I went to a ton of funerals, and I definitely know how important it is you got to have your look. You got to have a look, and you got to know what you want, because if you leave it up to the people who love you, they're going to do what they think is right.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
What does your ideal funeral look like?
I mean, I always get upset about the outfits. I just feel like they're pretty stuffy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be in a, one of those bodycon dresses. Give me like a Hervé Leger or something. Like, bring it back to the early 2000s.
Please.
You know what I mean? When I could have finally afford of Hervé Leger, it was out. It like nobody was wearing that anymore.
I think they're back in.
They are
recession
back in,
indicator,
but it's not the same. It's
it's
not the
not?
same. Yeah, because the thing about the Hervé Legers is that it wasn't just the dress. It was the energy. It was the woman behind the banded dress. And I just feel like this era of like girlies, they ain't got it. They ain't got it. They're too aware.
Yes.
These girls who were wearing Hervé Leger in my time, they had no idea who the lore or like who they were. They were just stepping out in these Christian Louboutins and this Hervé Leger and this big ass Chanel flap purse.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to the bars and they're like, yeah, girl, this is just a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny you say that, because I feel like this generation, they're the ones who are like, embrace the cringe and like, who cares, whatever. I'm like, y'all are the ones calling everything cringe.
I didn't even know what the fuck cringe was.
We didn't give a shit about that.
Not at all. I really do miss the time where I would step in a place, put my phone down, put my purse down, and I don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
If you my friend, you gonna find me. I'm on a dance floor. I'm on a banquette. I'm not the only time we were texting is when we were outside and we were trying to get in.
Exactly.
And if we didn't get in, we going somewhere else, because you're not going to be embarrassing me.
Oh, I'm not going to be
in front of 10 June.
waiting in a line.
Yeah.
Do you watch Abbott Elementary?
I do. Yeah.
Ava is one of my like favorite characters ever on television. When she goes, I don't speak line. I've never related to anything more.
It's just in this era, people, they love being on lines. They're obsessed with being on a line for a bagel. In New York City? For a pancake? You got to stand up. You got to stand up and you got to walk away. Yeah. I see these lines for like a random corn dog. Are you kidding me? The girls have got to find something else to do.
Yeah, we can't be waiting in lines. It's insane. So
the Brandy Melville of it all.
I still haven't been there.
Oh, if you go in Soho, this is during Christmas time, and this is when it really hurt me. The line was wrapped around the corner.
Girls,
these young teeny boppers for these thin ass fabrics, this one size fit all.
Just to be able to say that you're skinny enough to fit into it.
Go to the mall. Go to the mall.
Right. Like, I don't, like, we all see that, like, you're skinny. Like, and then love that for you. Like, love that you're feeling good about your body, whatever your body looks like.
That's what it really is about. It's just about being skinny.
No, 1,000%. Because they only sell their clothing in one size, unless that's changed. So why else would you go there except to be able to say that you fit into that size, given that their clothing, from what I've seen, is entirely unremarkable.
I can't believe they bringing skinny back. I really can't. It's insane. It's really sad, because I remember when it was happening, with Nicole Richie, Paris Hilton.
Oh yeah.
Lindsay Lohan, when all the girls was just coming out so thin. It was heroin chic or whatever. And we're like, oh, this is the times of Hollywood. And then we moved on from that, and we're like, okay, the girls getting body. They getting body. They feeling good. They're a woman now. Mm-hmm. And I was like, there's no way that skinny could come back, because I grew up very skinny, obviously on 2% milk and sweet and low and whatnot. In my neighborhood, people were just like, you look sick, you look ill. When you gonna get some body? Why is your back on your front? And so it was looked down upon to be frail, and now it's back in. And I'm like, are we really promoting this right now?
No, it's bad. I went on my first diet when I was tiny. I went on my first diet in the 6th grade. Like, I remember.
What?
Yeah. And I did not grow up with one of those Southern moms that was like telling me I was fat or ugly, because a lot of people did. Like, I remember being at my friends' houses and their moms would always like be picking apart their appearance. You need to put on more lip gloss. You need to fix your hair. You need to like, don't eat that. My mom was not like that. But the pressure was just like all consuming. You know what I mean?
This might be a sad story, but so again, growing up with my great aunt and uncles, they would watch the Lifetime channel. That's their shits, right? So instead of me watching, Power Rangers, it's like, we're watching Danielle Steele's The Right to Love or something like that. And so I watched
people murdering their husbands.
Yes, all the time. That's all I watch.
You have no idea. You're like, what is a healthy relationship dynamic? Because it seems like a lot of people are getting murdered.
Hey, all I see is this white woman crying over the blueberry pancakes, and I don't.
To be fair, that's all that I saw as well. But I just had divorced parents.
It was a thing. So I watched this dying to be thin or whatever, and so it was about this woman basically having bulimia, and I think I was in the 4th grade, 5th grade, and so I'm watching this, and at the time I wasn't getting a lot of attention or support, and so I'm watching the show, and soon as they found out that she had an eating disorder, everybody was like, it was all hands on deck. And the husband, her family, everybody's like trying to take care of her. And so in my head, I was like, oh, I got to do what she's doing. I just got to throw up my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm in elementary school.
Yeah.
Throwing up my food. Just not knowing like the repercussions of like how bad this is.
And what that really meant.
What it really meant. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, I was already thin, so it wasn't about that.
You want to be noticed.
I want them to love me more.
Yeah.
So finally, my family finds out. And they sit me down, and my uncle's like, "Are you really throwing up your food?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "We don't have money for that." So they shamed me out of the eating disorder because they're like, "We don't have it like that to just throw up food and then get more food."
They're like, "Listen,
you see Auntie cutting up all these coupons every fucking week,
they're like,
and you want to throw up chicken salad?
You're not about to mess up my financials because of whatever you've got weighing on your mind and heart." Oh
man.
My God.
Then the worst part about it, he's like, "Now you got to go and say sorry to Auntie. You got to tell her sorry because now she thinks she's doing something wrong." And I said, "Well, I do have some notes about the spaghetti, but." Yeah, so she's
like, "Damn, is my cooking that bad?"
Yeah, so I had to apologize instead of them caring more about me. Instead of being like, "We won't watch those shows anymore," they're just like, "You can't watch that show anymore."
Yeah, right.
So I could hear them watching
So now
the
you're
Daniel
alone.
Steele movie. I could hear the abuse happening in the kitchen, but they're like, when you're in the living room, nothing. You can't, no TV for you. I was like, oh, I just love to hear it from, 2 rooms down.
God forbid a girl get inspiration from the media she's consuming.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think that perfectly captures what it was like growing up in the 90s, 2000s. So chaotic. I would like to think that the adults in our life were like doing their best with the information that they had at the time.
Yeah.
And I can laugh at that shit now. But yeah, there's like, I remember my dad being like, one of my friends called me and told me he wanted to kill himself. And I told him to do it because if you tell him to do it, then they're not gonna. I'm like, oh, that's a really risky strategy.
They all did that.
He genuinely in his heart thinks that that's the way to handle that situation. He goes, well, he didn't. I'm like, I think that's more of a like thank God kind of thing versus a you drove him to not.
It could have gone the other way,
Right.
That's another thing is like people didn't understand. They were not emotionally intelligent. And so they're just going off of like what they learned before. And they're like, you have to be strong. Like, don't show that you're weak. Mm-hmm. Don't have any compassion. And so I'm completely the opposite because I was like, I don't want to be like that, And now I'm like, now I'm too compassionate. Now I'm giving grace out like it's water. And I actually need to take it back.
Grace is on wholesale with
baby,
Sydney.
I just handing it. It's a soup kitchen of grace right now.
It's a soup kitchen of
grace. I really need to.
You need to cut that funding. Take some notes from our president.
But I've also learned that giving people grace has helped me understand like nobody's perfect and people are going to make mistakes. People are going to say the wrong thing. And that's another thing about like, well, I didn't mention this before, but like the whole cancel culture, I think is right now, I get it. Like people say fucked up stuff or do fucked up things. You know what? Take everything away. They don't deserve a platform. But it's like, do they really not deserve a platform forever? Or for this amount of time.
Right.
Like, I think there needs to be a cap on, hey man, you probably can't do no brand deals for a while.
Yeah.
You probably
Take a moratorium.
Take a break.
Take a few weeks off.
But forever, now it's like, now forever, I won't be able to enjoy this person's art because, you know, they said some stupid shit.
Yeah. One of the reasons I've been so open from the very beginning of like, hey, used to be super conservative. Hey, like all of these things, like that's the environment I grew up in, was because I knew eventually people would kind of try to like use that, you know, against me, and people still will, and they'll pull up like old, and I'm like, yeah, no, I've talked about that already. And I think what's really like frustrating about it, and Lisa and I actually talked about this a little bit, when you try to do good and, you know, and advocate for issues, whatever that looks like, it's almost like people take that as a signal to monitor every single thing you do. People will get in my DMs mad at me for posting a makeup product that's not cruelty free, and they'll write me five paragraphs about why I don't deserve my platform because I posted a brand that's not cruelty free. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not talking about like I said something that like warrants a discussion and some feedback. It's never that. It's like the dumbest shit ever. But at the same time, you also have people being like, people need to be speaking up. People need to be talking. And I'm like, y'all need to be normal then.
Yeah.
Because it's also not people who are typically, it's never a black woman in my mentions getting mad at me. It's like only nerdy white women. And we are famously like not at the top of the oppression pyramid as much as we would like to pretend that we are. We love to invent our own oppression all the time. We're not. So maybe just like take it down a few notches, and then maybe more people would be talking about things.
It is exhausting. Now, I just want to say on the record, hey, if you sexual assault, murder, rape,
for sure,
all that stuff, forever canceled. You know, a couple of topics come up about like saying the N-word, racism,
I was gonna
whatever.
ask you like what your thoughts are on that.
Obviously fucked up. I do not condone it. I think it's terrible. And also, you see this happen to other people. Why you haven't deleted your account? I don't know.
Get those passwords.
The way that you have not gotten that off, there are apps to delete all of that shit.
Hire a hacker.
Yes.
There's a kid, like a 12-year-old somewhere that could hack in and delete that shit.
So that's my thing, was like, if you got caught and you've seen it happen to other people, now I think that it feels like you're above the program. And also you think that, have you forgot that you used to be that person? That's what I would actually want to get into, rather than, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're all this stuff. It's just like, you think that you're bigger than what your past is.
Sure.
Your past is your past. And I do appreciate the people who are like, I used to be Republican, I used to be this, I used it. Because people do change.
Yeah.
They do change. But I do believe that the people who are now on the other side, there might have to be like a test, like a one of those tests that you're not aware of, that somebody catches you in a situation where it's like, we're going to test all the stuff that now that you've learned, are you going to put it into practice when nobody's watching?
100%.
I do think that needs to happen, because it is kind of hard to unlearn all the stuff that you were raised for like 10 and 20 years. That's hard to just shake off.
Oh, totally.
I'm not Republican anymore. How?
Yeah, what does that look like?
It's instilled in you.
Yeah.
You heard that all the time.
Yeah.
And so even if you're not speaking like that, some of your words unconsciously, some of your movements are of the conservative or the Republican. Not you, but I'm just saying.
Oh, no. And I
in general.
I completely agree. And it's funny, literally this morning on the train, someone actually sent me a screenshot from our high school yearbook, and it was asking me, and mind you, I wasn't even old enough to vote yet. It asked me what I thought of Obamacare, and I said I didn't support it because it was a form of socialism, as I was at my publicly funded high school. If you had asked me one thing about what socialism meant, couldn't have told you. You know what I mean? But I posted that today to be like, if you had told this girl, a decade and some change later, that she'd be like proudly supporting a loud and proud socialist mayor, she probably would have talked a lot of shit about you on AIM and MySpace. You know what I mean? But I try to like continuously put it in front of people to be like, you can change. And to your point, I would like to say that I'm not racist, right? Or I'm not any of those things that are associated with like being conservative. I also never want to feel like, I solved that.
Right.
Or I fixed that. Or that box I checked. I always want to be aware and cognizant of how that upbringing and that those surroundings can still manifest in daily life, and make sure I'm checking myself and people around me are checking me as well.
Even if you're not racist, right? And I think that first of all, the way that word is thrown around so much, now it puts people on a defense, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not racist, right? You benefit from racism. And
Totally.
that's the issue that I have, is that there's so many people who are just trying to swap that name. Like, well, I'm not that. But you are not understanding the system, that what it is, that it still benefits you. And it's not my job. Now I gotta each one teach one to every white person or person of that form, to understand that you are actually connected to it, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to have Cheez-Its and chill and be on the couch and sleep and watch these dumbass documentaries and shit. Yeah, I want to. It's so exhausting, and that's the only reason with the cancellation, because what happens is, what people who get canceled, they don't understand. People who are connected to you are now have to get the brunt of that. So any dumb shit, you got caught saying the N-word. Now your black friends have to now be like, oh my God, well,
I haven't even thought about that angle.
They've never said the N-word to me. Like, I don't want to have to do that heavy lifting. So it doesn't just affect them and their business or their family. Where it affects the people of color or the people who are, marginalized group that's connected to them.
I haven't even thought about the back end of that.
Cancellations is so exhausting, because it's like, well, then if that person is doing that, how come you never told them, hey, first of all, you don't know the work that I've done with that. They used to be worse than this. Okay.
They used to be way bigger.
Hey, I've gotten them to a point where it's like, I could be seen in public with them, but the shit that I've seen back in the day, I probably wouldn't hang out with that person. And I wasn't,
Right.
So I just think I think they need to put a cap on how long someone would be canceled, and based off the thing that they did or said.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are saying reckless shit. Everybody with a mic, everybody with a phone and Wi-Fi are saying things that you're like, yeah, it's not racist or misogynist, but you probably said something that has hurt and affected people in ways that, you probably should be canceled too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be that person that's waving my finger, because I've had a podcast for so long. I know I've said some things and I'm like, hey babe, you should not get paid. They should probably take away a lot of the coins that you made off the backs of the ridiculous shit that I've said.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever said yourself or been mean to disabled people.
Sure.
But if somebody sifts through my things, I'm sure there's a aha. Look at that,
Why are we searching for that aha? That's what bugs me.
There's a lot of people in basements and a lot of people in unfulfilled lives that got the time.
Yeah.
They got that, and that's all they do,
Yeah, they've got all the time in the world. And that around cancellations, I'm always side-eyeing praised white women in comments who act like termites. I'm like, what?
Termites.
They're literal termites. They are. Crazy. I mean, that's how they act. It was like, I used to be super far right, but never MAGA. Just to make that super. I was like a Romney Republican. I didn't know what any of this shit meant. Like I grew up in Georgia. Like, it's just what you're around. And then I went
a lot. And let's get to the bottom. A lot of people don't know what the fuck they're saying. You could be as educated as you want. You could get all the information. That doesn't mean you're sifting and processing it in the right way.
Yeah.
And that's why. Because sometimes people have hit me up like, why aren't you speaking up about this? Why aren't you saying? I said, hey, I am not qualified. Yeah. I will say that. Now, is what my opinion? Is it not worthy? I don't think it's not worthy, but there's so many people who know what the fuck they're talking about, who should be at the forefront of things. I want to point you to that person.
Them.
I don't want to talk about these things that are so dire right now. I mismatch words all the time.
Dude, same.
I have dyslexia at times. I will fuck up people's names. I don't want that.
100%.
I don't want that stress on me. I know what's right and wrong for me. And if we have a personal conversation, I'm going to say all of that. Just to say it on the internet where there's no nuance, and there's somebody who literally is in a hole somewhere just looking like a mole rat, and they have fingers enough to type shit. I don't need them in my comments.
No.
I don't need them in my DMs.
No. And I try to reframe it, because I used to get really irritated when people would say that to me. I'm like, okay, what that means is they really value my opinion and perspective, which is so great. I just honestly don't have an opinion and perspective about everything.
I don't.
But I have a lot of friends who do, who are much smarter than me. And also half the time I'm texting my friends like Elizabeth Booker Houston, Booker Squared. If y'all don't follow her, she's also a comedian. Do you know Liz? She's like hilarious. I'm always like, hey, so what does this mean, and is it good or bad? Like, she's the person I go to. I'm like, go to Liz.
Yeah.
I should not be speaking on like the legality of what's happening in Venezuela. Like, please don't ask me.
It's true.
And
It's true.
I mix up words a lot. Is there a word that you mix up a lot?
Because I grew up in Oakland, California, and at the time there was Ebonics, I grew up on the crux of like, education system was not good. It was very shaky. When I went to high school, I had to go to an alternative high school. And so I'm the first to say, hey, I had to work so hard to be able to read properly, write at like the level that I was supposed to. And so I am super anxious, even speaking and writing things, because I'm always like, is this right? I don't want to look stupid. I think everybody needs to just take a beat. Like, why does everything has to be so right and wrong, black and white? I just have way too much compassion. And in order to have a really good conversation, I think it needs to be one-on-one. Because I bet you those people who are making these paragraphs and dissertations, whatever, they wouldn't say that to somebody's face.
No, dude. And if anything in the moment, I don't know, if I was using my Mac Studio Fix, which I'm never going to stop using, by the way, you could pry from my cold dead hands. I literally had to stock up at the airport because they changed the formula. I don't know if you followed the Mac Studio Fix drama of last summer.
You know, I moved on from Mac.
Oh, you did?
That's my fault. Mac raised me. Mac literally raised me, and I was doing the face and
Mac
body.
and Lifetime.
Yeah, Mac.
Mac, Lifetime,
Mac,
and Sweet and Low.
It's Sweet and Low, yes. But Mac, I used the face and body foundation. But I moved on, and right now I'm doing Dior. But for a long time, I was doing Armani.
Which Dior? Is it the stick or the liquid?
It's the liquid.
The backstage?
Yes,
okay,
backstage, yeah.
Got it.
Another expensive foundation. Obsessed, but I like Mac because it is affordable. It does exactly what needs to be done. It's not doing too
what
much.
it needs to be done. But they changed the formula, so I stocked up at the airport Mac.
And they do have what you need.
I said, you have C3? Give me all of the C3s that you have. So I'm set until my funeral.
It will be sponsored.
It better be.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So going back to when you were growing up, when do you feel like you kind of started coming into your own and like getting a stronger sense of self?
Yo, I'm going to be very honest. 20s, like 25, 26, damn near 28. When I started doing drugs and alcohol, that's when I really was able to find myself. Now, I hate saying that, on the record, but I think because I lived such a strict, rigid, religious life that there was a lot of things that I was holding back on for myself and like the people around me. And so soon as I started getting into nightlife and waitressing or whatever, the people around me, they're not judging the me. They might judge my shoes or what fucking, dress I'm wearing, but they're not judging who I am as a person. They just want to feel good. And so that's why I was able to really find the comedy, the silliness, the not taking things too seriously, and just be free and try different things. That's how I found out, oh, you probably should be with women. You know what I mean? The reason why, you're getting wasted to have sex with these men because you
don't want to.
You probably don't really want this. You know what I mean? You're so black out to actually have a connection with these men that later on, sobriety and all of that, I was like, yo, this is who I'm supposed to be with a woman. This feels good,
I think that's really interesting you say that because nightlife is so demonized, and I don't understand why. It's always, oh, you're not going to find your boyfriend at the club. You're not going to find your girlfriend at the club. Why are you out clubbing? You should be home reading. I'm like, what is better than like dancing in a room in fun clothes under cool lights with your friends? What is so wrong about that?
Well, now it's demonized. Now that I am sober and I still want to dance. I still want to have a good time. I go in there, I'm like, nobody is having a good time because they're too aware of everything that's going on. People are being filmed. People want to look good. The music is not amazing. Like, it's just too many things to make sure you don't have a good night or find your man in the club. That it's like, yeah, why are you doing that? But when I was there, 2000 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a time. You had to peel me off the floor because when I tell you feet were dead, they were dead. But thank God for the Molly because I could not stop dancing and having a good time. I was not having a conversation in a corner about the political climate.
About radical feminism,
Yeah.
second wave in the 25th century. Give me a break. Also,
That's what your 20s are for, to do dumb shit, talk dumb stuff, have fun on the floor, lose.
wear uncomfortable shoes.
Yes.
Stop wearing Air Force Ones in the club. I'm so sick of it.
Having the thinnest of an eyebrow, having a bump it, like
The
those
thickest of eyeliner.
Yeah, that was the time to look a mess, and
Yes.
it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But now, I don't recommend. People are not. You could just walk in a place and be like, energy's bad. It's off. It's not good.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Are you still do you still dance and go out and stuff a lot now?
Here and there. My friend Zach Fox, he's an amazing DJ. He has a plethora of hits that he's making sure people are listening to, and just even mixing the dubstep with the hip hop with the house. He's doing all of it. So, and he's also promoting put your phone away.
Yeah,
why are
dude.
you filming that? You need to be on the floor busting ass. Why is it just people congregating by the DJ booth,
Yeah.
And so I miss that. I miss that a lot. And now being sober is also scary because you're like, can I dance? Do I have the energy to dance?
Yeah.
Even if the music is good, a little sway is good for me. A little pop, pop, pop.
I love
and then
a
we
frat
done.
flick. I'm a
That
big
too.
frat flicker.
Yeah, I like that. I like, saying the words, and I don't know the
Yes.
words.
I like the lyrics.
I like that. And so, yeah, here and there I could do that, but the whole, oh my God, I gotta get there. I gotta get in. I gotta put my coat up. Then I gotta find an area, and then I gotta be around people who y'all don't know the vibe. It's always gotta be I need other people to know that I'm here because this is cool.
Y'all aren't present.
They're not present.
And when you're not present, I can feel it.
Yes,
I
and
know
that-
when you're distracted.
And that messes up the club.
And it fucks up my mood. And it's I do dry January every year. So I'm, I'm sober this month, right? And it was my first dry January.
you.
Yeah. And I was so thankful I did it. And every single January, I'm like, oh, this is actually the easiest thing in the world. I could just keep doing this. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, it's also okay that I like to enjoy a drink here and there. It's never been a problem for me. You know what I mean? Which is great. But I was at this party, my first dry January. And I remember where I was standing. I go, oh, I hate everyone here. Oh, this is the least fun I've ever had. And I'm actually only ever drinking at these parties to make your company feel bearable.
Absolutely.
And I left. I was like, oh, I can actually just leave.
And that's on being a grown ass person. I
Yeah.
love being an adult that's soon as I get somewhere and I'm not feeling it, I'm already queuing up the Lyft, the Uber. I'm already
And the Uber Eats.
I'm checking, I'm seeing, how long will it take me to get home? And by the time I get there, I know when I could get my food, or I know the bodega is still open. It's those are the things that matter. Or I'll hit my friend, I'm like, yo, let's just go to the crib. We
Right.
could just have fun
Yes.
by ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people who are trying to make some type of nightlife thing happen. The promoters suck. Everything is more about money and clout. And I'm not saying that wasn't happening at my time as well, but
Yeah.
it was an even balance of it. And
Yeah, and I think-
was blackout for a lot of it, but I do remember a lot of the good times, and I don't believe that people could do the same, because now people are critiquing the box. They're critiquing the shows that are happening at the box. Those shows are not for critiques, bitch. It's been like that because it's a show. Why are you breaking down? Well, there's a trans woman putting a bottle up her ass and shitting. It's hey, this is for the freaks.
If
This
you're
is
not,
for the
if that's not
fools.
you, get out of here.
This is for the drugs. Why are we blogging about this? This is crazy.
Get your purity culture out of here, dude. Don't bring down the vibe.
Yeah,
If it's not for
yeah.
you. I remember I was at there's this restaurant in DC called Medium Rare. I love it. They're great people. During COVID,
That's a crazy
well,
name of
it's
it.
for steak frites.
Okay.
So it's perfect.
Right.
All they serve is steak frites, and they do a ton for the community. They gave free, meals to the elderly during COVID. And this woman left a bad review because all they serve is steak frites. I'm like, you can't go to a steak frite restaurant and be upset that they don't serve Chinese food. That's kind of what you guys are doing when you go into spaces that clearly aren't catering to you, and then critiquing them.
Yeah, and you have free will that if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Get out of here.
Go. That's my also another thing is that's why I'm not amazing online. A lot of people love me in real life, but I'm not savvy with it, because if I don't like something, I'm not going to talk about it.
Right.
If I had a bad time, I'm not gonna talk about
I
it.
don't want to blast them.
If I have an issue with somebody, we talking. I'm not going to take something online, put it up, and then I hope it goes to your For You page. My podcast is called Mess, but I'm not actively trying to be messy.
Yeah.
That doesn't wake me up every day, you know, and it's not my fueling force. Now I'm here for call out culture if you doing it with the good intention of like, yo, I honestly, I don't care about this person and they just need to get shut down, you know? And I think, and that's what I like about the way your tactics are about the with the makeup with the conservative women. It's like, you guys look a mess.
Y'all look insane. I'm helping you out.
You think they don't know that they don't look a fucking that they look a fucking hot, crunchy ass mess?
Honest to God, I think it was the first time some of them had heard it. They did not know that they were being perceived in the way that they were being perceived. And then the problem was they kind of tried to come for like liberal women, but they don't perceive other people. They don't give a fuck about like who's around them. Like they're not noticing things like we are. So they all just did the same thing. Oh, well, you all have blue hair. And I'm like, well, no, I don't.
But I know they got iPhones, so they could not see on the photos. The pictures are on Pixelate. They can't see the dry ass cracks that are building up on the side of their crow's feet, and that they're putting in their eyebrows so dark. They didn't see that?
Genuinely, I think because they all do it. It's just like, and they've always done it. So if everyone at your mega church has the same kind of look, I actually did have a few, and like, honestly, shout out to them because I thought it was hilarious. They're like, I don't like you and anything you say, but you did really help me make my makeup better. And I'm like,
I was going to ask you
know
that.
What?
I was like, has anybody reached out and say, you know what?
Whatever,
Thank
man.
you.
Like, yeah, I've been called out before, like on my appearance, and I've very subtly made tweaks. And I'm like, shit, they were right about that.
Yeah.
This one girl's like, you need to bring your eyebrows closer in. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, no, she's right. You know? But that's not an invitation to critique my appearance either, because some people get a little too comfortable. I'm like, do make sure you're prettier than me before you're making fun of my appearance in my comment section.
Okay.
Do make sure you're prettier than me. That's all I'm going to say about that.
About the call out culture or whatever. I genuinely enjoy when people go above and beyond the physical, where they actually do the research and go on their page and they find out the things that they like, their family, the dumb shit that they wrote. Because I think now everyone is their go-to is to drag people's appearance. That don't even do it for me anymore. Like, go dig deep, because these people who are talking on this shit, their profiles are open. They're not private. So it's like, I could see what your whole family lineup look like. I could see your heritage, your family tree. Let's go there.
Let's go there. Let's go to why I follow 30 Trader Joe's accounts on Instagram and I don't cook. I just like to have a finger on the pulse of what's going on there. That's humiliating.
Yes.
Drag me for that. Don't drag me for my big ass forehead. I'm aware, babe.
Hey.
It's not the one I would have chosen if I had a choice in the matter.
Behind every big ass forehead is some good ass coochie. I'll tell you that, Mitch.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, this is so good to know.
Yes.
Okay, wait. I have to ask you a question, then we can get to your mean but true. You have to be so honest about this. I was at dinner with someone, and I had told her in my 20s, I kind of was like, I don't even know if bi-curious is the right word, but like, am I bi? Question mark. I don't know if that means I was bi-curious or not. And I kind of landed on the conclusion that I don't think I am. And I was having that conversation with her, and she goes, yeah, no, you give really strong attracted to men energy. That feels like an insult to me. What does that mean? You can be as honest as you want.
It's something about lesbians for me. You could tell like they care about the women's gaze, not just like, oh, my friends. They want other women to like know that they're attractive and also that they're out there. You know, I have a lot of straight friends who don't give a fuck about what a woman is thinking.
Oh, I care way more about what a woman thinks I
they
look
don't
like.
give a fuck. But like in a way that it's deeper than just like the looks. It's about like how I'm viewed, like how women view me. I care. I don't care if men think I'm hot. When a man gives me a compliment, I'm like, you have eyes, great. But like when women are acknowledging me or being seen by a woman, it really does like make my day. sometimes.
But I feel that way though.
Yeah,
like I genuinely feel that way. That's I mean, I can't ask you to get inside of her head, but I was like, it almost feels like an insult. But she's not wrong. I am attracted to men.
No.
But like,
if somebody was to say you're male centered, like that's an insult. But
and I'm not. I feel strongly that I'm not.
Yeah, there are women that I meet that I'm like, you want to get married to a man. Even women who are bisexual, I'm like, you are sexually attracted to women, but I'm like, your future, you want to be with a man. And that's okay. That's okay. But I was talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday because I do have jokes about how I relapsed, right? Like how I was having a bad moment and I went back to men. And I was like, but I still saw myself as a I was like, I'm a lesbian or whatever. And then these people, everybody was dragging me like, you're just, I hate this narrative that you could be a lesbian, but you've had sex with men. That's not the definition of it. And I was like, well, that's the problem. I am actually critiquing how we're so caught up on titles and these requirements, the labels that you're not actually able to really dig deep and figure out like who you are.
The experience.
Because you're like, oh, well, if I even go back to men, I can never say that I'm a lesbian at all. And I'm a practicing lesbian. I'm a practicing lesbian, even though sometimes the greatest fall from the sky and go down to hell for a little bit.
Famously
I did that.
so.
Yeah, but
and it is hell.
my heart, I know is with a woman, and that's what I want to be with. And even though I physically was able to hook up with men again, I was like, this is not what I want. This was the most unsure I've ever felt about myself. I did not feel safe. I didn't feel like smart. I was embarrassed. And it's not because of what other people were. I felt embarrassed because I was like, why are you putting your body through this?
Yeah. What you just described, I was like, I think romantically long term, I do want to be with a man. So I don't want to put a woman through, me being like a fuck boy essentially, because I love and respect women so much that I don't even I don't want women to be a part of this like experiment for me and have their feelings be in the bounds. So I guess I'll just never see what that's like.
And that was my joke, was that because I was in a bad place, I was so fucked up and toxic, I said, I gotta go date men because this is what they actually deserve. You know what I mean? This makes the most sense. Why would I still go date women knowing that I have nothing to offer? I'm fucked up. I ain't got no money. I don't have an apartment. I'm coming back from LA. I have literally the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. And they don't have any standards, so they was taking me in. They was like, absolutely, come as you are, or don't come at all. Like that's how
we don't care if you come.
Yeah,
and we're not going to make you.
And so I end on the joke where like I knew I wasn't bisexual because I went to a man's place and he didn't have electricity, right?
No electricity.
Listen, now the real truth of it is I went to his place. He was stealing electricity from another home. He had one of those electrical cords all the way into his apartment, and he was using somebody else's.
Oh, so he was engineering.
Yes.
He was an electrical engineer.
And he was an engineer, which is crazy. He was an engineer.
So he had money to pay the power bill.
He said this is not what he wanted to spend his money on. That's what he's told me. But we was at brunch. He spent $300 on brunch.
I don't think that.
It's not here for it to make sense. I'm just telling you what happened to me, right? This is what happened to me. And so people are like, well, because you don't know how to pick men, now you a lesbian? Yes, absolutely. I'm so bad at picking men. That's how I know I'm not supposed to be with a man. Even if I was with if a good guy would have came around, I still would have been like, I don't want to be with it. I wouldn't have been like, well, now I'm dating a man forever. But I've looked at my lineup and I'm like, yeah, you're so bad at this. The analogy I made is like, Rihanna is a singer, right? She hasn't put out no new music ever, right? Is she no longer a singer? She's still a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why you have the slashes in the LGBTQ AI or whatever, because it shouldn't just be one or the other. That's the whole point about being under this umbrella is it's fluid. Why do we have to? Straight is straight. That's straight. But us, we should be more leaning into, figure it out. And then at the end of it, you'll be like, now I'm an uppercase L. But it shouldn't be, oh, I've never been with a man. I'm a better lesbian than you. Who does that benefit? Who is that for?
This is kind of you don't even have to answer this if you don't want to. I'm just
curious. I don't have answers.
Yeah.
I'm a practicing lesbian right now. I'm saying that.
Do you think you can be a lesbian and still enjoy having sex with men?
If a woman tells me, hey, I'm a lesbian, but I've hooked up with men, or I'm hooking up with men right now, I think it's a case by case situation.
Yeah.
I need more context.
Yeah, I shouldn't even be asking that kind of umbrella
it's not.
question.
I think that's a good question because I think that's what it is. It's nuance.
Yeah.
All of it is new. You can't just put a blanket thing out there, and now all these people who are kind of fucking dumb are now here
judge and jury. Yeah, judge and jury.
You got to get to know the person. And so I'm like, I do need to work on that joke because maybe I'm not, there's more things that I need to add for people to be like, oh, okay, I get it now. But ask all my ex-girlfriends, ask them if I'm bisexual or if I'm a lesbian. They're going to be like, the way she in this relationship, she is a lesbian. I am, my heart is with the girls.
Yeah.
My coochie is also with the girls, but my heart, my mind, body, and soul is with women. And this is bad for me. It's like, maybe I was hooking up with dudes for the joke. Maybe I was like, I need some more.
I need some material.
I need some bits.
I got to get out of these bringers, man.
Yeah. This is the only way I'm going to raise the bar,
Right.
And so it sucks that I did such a stupid thing. Would I do that again? I don't want to say I don't know, but I know that I've been sober for 8 years and I take it one day at a time. And for me right now, there'll be no reason why I'm doing ketamine and coke.
Yeah, no.
And meth,
Yeah, let's not.
Let's not do that.
Hell no, especially these days.
It's not even good. They put in Fenty and everything.
Dude, I know. I'm like, to be a white finance bro in the 90s, pure snow in New York City, that must have been a hell of a time. And every single guy, every Gen Xer I've talked to, they're like, oh yeah, no, it was the shit. They're like, New York, every single night was popping. Everyone had so much money. This is all pre 9/11. They're like, it was genuinely the best time, minus all of the skinny shaming and whatnot.
Yeah, but now it's like, oh, you're gonna gamble with your life with drugs that you don't even know if they're good, and two, they're most likely cut with something that's not what it's supposed to be.
100%.
It's a lot of Johnson & Johnson. in these little packets of cocaine.
A lot.
Yeah.
Johnson & Johnson's behind a lot.
Baby powder. You think you're hot? No, you are constipated. That's what's going on with you.
100%. So the name of this podcast is Mean But True because we talk about things that are mean but true. What's something mean but true?
Straight girlies, you gotta stop leaning on your lesbian friends when you're having issues with your man. I'm sorry. Because think about this. You're like, I don't want to think about men like that. But I'm still going to be having to think about men because I'm listening to all the shit that they're doing to my friends. Mm-hmm. And so they'll be like, oh, you hate men. It's like, I don't hate men, but you're the publicists for y'all. The women that you're dating, they are actually putting out the word that y'all are shit too. So it's like, I'm constantly hearing that. There's got to be another group chat for it. I personally, I love my friends so much that when I hear this, it just makes me more angry.
Yeah.
It doesn't, that's a mean but true. That's like a sidebar. The real mean but true is like the weddings. We got to wrap it up.
It's enough.
We gotta wrap it up, especially weddings after a certain age. It's like, you want this big to do, but it's like, who is this really benefiting? It seems like it's more stress for the bride and groom than what it is when it ends.
And it's for social media. I got a Christmas card and it was their wedding photo and it said Married Christmas instead of Merry Christmas.
Because they've spent so much money. They gotta make it drag out and make it worth it for many seasons after that.
Firstly, it's Jesus's birthday. If I were Jesus, I'd be kind of pissed. Like, oh, okay, you're going to take over my birthday after everything I did for y'all, famously. You're going to post your wedding photo. And then they'll also post, like, after they get married, it's like they'll like post a photo of you on your birthday, like, happy birthday, Sydnee. And then it's like the bride and she looks the most gorgeous she's ever looked in her life. And then like you, I'm like,
in the shadows, in the shadows, of course.
There was this one girl in my sorority who posted a photo of her maid of honor. And this was the only photo she posted. It wasn't like one in a carousel. And it was her in her wedding dress and her maid of honor on the ground fixing her dress. You couldn't even see her face. And she was like, happy birthday, Madison. Like, love you so much. Couldn't even see her. I'm like, oh, you're a traitor to women.
The way that weddings turn really good women into just CUNTs. I mean, the way the hierarchy that marriage is put on, like, whatever pedestal, it just brings out the worst. And I think we need to wrap it up. I think we do like cute 100 people the most. 100 people. It doesn't have to be a crazy venue. You spending all this on flowers. If you got the money, I guess, sure. But so many people are fighting over what transpires before the wedding, after wedding. It's like, just cut it out. We wouldn't have to deal with this if we didn't put so much importance on that.
Is lesbian wedding culture the same way?
People really don't have the strength no more to make such big to do. And so a lot of people are getting eloped. A lot of people are doing small things.
Shit's expensive.
It's a recession. People are like, hey, babe, we not doing like in my 20s, man, people were having destination weddings. People were spending all this money. At this age now, people are like, let's do something light.
Yeah.
Let's do something chill. We're going to be in the backyard, you know? And they last forever. And I love that.
Yeah, my friend Josh Doss, he does a lot of great political commentary online. He was like, what if y'all had a wedding after you've already been married for a year? How about that? What if you get married and then have a wedding and then we're celebrating your first year of marriage? I was like, that's such a cool idea, right?
That's perfect.
I thought that was a good idea.
I think that, but it's the bachelorettes. Oh, yeah, now we're not friends after the bachelorette. We went to Miami. It's like, don't you see it's these situations? So everything has been cool and chill until this happened. Until, until I had a baby. Then it's like, there's something going on between the ladies. It's the situation.
Yeah,
it's not the people.
We need to look into that.
Yeah,
we need to look into that.
Wrap it up. I'm like, we've come to a society that we realize maybe weddings and kids, we shouldn't put it at the top of this is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's not the only thing. Yeah. And it's okay for you, it is, but it doesn't need to be that for everybody. You know what I mean?
That's what it is.
And that's where we get caught up, is when we don't even feel like it's the most important thing, but we feel like we're supposed to because everybody else does.
I want to get married. I just want it to be chill. I want to look nice. I want to have dance. And I don't want to spend $200,000.
Hell no, dude.
On stuff. I'd rather go on a trip.
Yeah.
I'd rather do something cool with my friends.
Who's someone you would like to roast and someone you would like to toast?
I would like to roast the old me who used to care too much about everything. Bitch, nobody is thinking about that. Nobody cares. Oh, you're wearing those pants 3 days in a row. The people you're hanging out with, they're fucked up. They're not looking at your pants. Like, there's so many things that I was kind of like stopping myself or thinking, oh, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Live your life. Take the blazer off. Have fun.
You're so right.
Yeah.
That's something I struggle with at the gym sometimes. And it's like, everyone's looking at me, whatever. But now I've just made it so where if those thoughts start coming up, because they always do, I've kind of turned it into like, they're looking at me because they're in love with me.
Yes.
I'm like, they're obsessed with me. They think I'm the most gorgeous thing in here. Oh my God, I have to get out of here. Like, they're like, I've kind of turned it into, no, they're actually in love with me. They're not judging me. You know what I mean?
Or it's not even about like what they're looking and thinking. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. And they're not. They're also not. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm assigning too much importance to myself. They don't give a shit. And if they do, they're weird.
They are.
Right?
Toast Julia Roberts.
Say more about that.
I let this bitch down. Let me tell you, it's all because of her social media. I think she's like following like 48 or 50 people, right? And she's got, thousands, maybe 1 million followers or whatever. And you can only comment on her page if she's following you.
Yeah. And
so on her birthday, she'll have like 18 happy birthdays. And she doesn't care. And it's like, yes, why do we have to be so this instant gratification of like random comments of people that you don't know these people. She's like, I don't need all that engagement. I am Julia Roberts, Aaron Brockovich, bitch. Like, who cares? And then she's got other people who follow her who are not even writing happy birthday because they have her actual number.
Right.
I want that freedom. Or Greta Lee. She's an incredible actress. And she's not on social media. I love that she doesn't have an Instagram, a TikTok.
That's incredible.
I need that. She probably got a burner or something like that.
I'm sure.
But she doesn't have to. Okay, so she has to do this ad and she has to turn in these deliverables. Bro. She's like, I'm not doing that.
That's gonna be my night later.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she's like, I'm on set, babe. I don't have time for any of that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sydnee, how can we all follow you and support you? Where can we find you?
Baby, I'm on the Instagrams. Just Sid BW, JUSTSYD BW. I have a podcast called Mess. It's on Spotify and YouTube. So look that up. It's Ooh Mess on Instagram. And then TikTok, which I it's so hard. It's so hard to post on there. But Just Sid BW 20. I think.
Yes.
I don't even know my name.
Oh, wait, I love
don't
that.
even know my name
I love
on
that.
the
We'll
TikTok.
confirm and you'll be linked and tagged. Oh, and I don't want to forget this question. I've been asking everyone this question. What's something you love about yourself?
I was dragging it before, but I love that I do give people grace. I love that I am always looking for the good in people. And I'm like, no, they can't be that bad. And it's like, then it showed, no, girl, they that bad.
No, surely they are.
But my first instinct is like, well, wait a minute, and it's given me the chance to actually do the work instead of get all roused up and be like, well, yeah, fuck them. I always take a beat, do the work, and then get mad and be like, fuck them,
I think we could all take a lot of notes from that. Thank you so much for joining, Sydnee. This is awesome.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next Tuesday.